Okay, this is steak. Check out that steak. Yummy. Hi everybody, welcome back to Cantonese Food Recipes. I'm Andrew, and tonight I'm just going to be showing you guys what I'm cooking for my family for dinner tonight. So this content is membership content only, so this is episode number 1. And tonight I'm making lamb chops and steak, onion, and I'm also making a maple tofu, a chili kind of tangy maple tofu, and also some broccoli, stir-fried broccoli. So let's get cooking. Okay, let me just introduce some ingredients. So over here is just a mixture of lamb chops and steak that are marinated with all the sauces. You can check that out on my free content on my YouTube channel. It's already marinated. And for the maple tofu, I'm using some mince over here that are also marinated. You can also check out the meat marination on my channel. And then the maple tofu, I'm using some cut up mushrooms, some chopped up celery, a bit of jalapeno peppers here, some chopped up onion, and some crushed garlic over there. And then obviously we got our cut up tofu over here. And over here is our onion and garlic for the steak chops and the lamb chops. So yeah, let's just get cooking. Let me just show you guys how to make this. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, over here I got a pot of water that I added in some oil and salt. I'm just gonna let that boil first. This is for the broccoli. We're gonna boil the broccoli for about 2 to 4 minutes, and then we will stir fry them. Okay guys, let's just cook up our steak and lamb chops first. First I'm preheating my wok over here. Okay, let's add in some oil. Not too much because the lamb chops and the steak has a lot of fatty parts, so the oil will be coming out from it. Using some olive oil. Okay, now I'm just going to layer the meat. Here's some lamb chops. This is the steak. Bring down the heat a little bit. In our family, only a few people can only eat steak, and my mother only eats lamb. She doesn't eat steak. But when she was younger, she did eat steak, but since she changed to Buddhism, so she stopped eating steak. I don't know, she says she doesn't eat steak. It will help the younger generation to live a happier life. So that's why she stopped eating steak. Okay, now I'm just going to cover it with a lid for a few minutes. Then we will flip it around. So basically the lamb and steak is just marinated with the salt, white pepper, sugar, a bit of chicken bouillon powder, a drizzle of oyster sauce, soy sauce, sesame oil, Chinese rice wine. And after you mix that all up, We drizzle a little bit of olive oil, mix it again, and just a little bit of cornstarch to thicken up the sauce so that the marinade will stick onto the steak. So we just let that marinate for about 1 hour, and then we can pop it into the wok to fry. After we fry it nicely, then we can dump in some onions and garlic and then cook like that, and then it will be ready. Okay, after the steak, we're gonna cook the maple tofu and then also the stir-fried broccoli. Okay, so now we are pan frying this on high heat. Let's just flip the meat around. And just cover it back with the lid. So basically when we covering it with the lid, it's cooking the insides. All that steam is going to enter into the steak, in the center of the steak. That's why we cover it with a lid. So we're going to do this about 2 times. And then once after 2 minutes it's ready, we're going to take out the lid, and then we're just going to pan fry the steak and lamb chops without putting the lid on. Then all that water content will start to evaporate out of the wok. And then once we see that it gets a good sear, then we will dump in the onions. And the onions and the garlic will give the steak a very delicious, like a 5-star hotel or restaurant flavor. Okay, so my pot of water is boiling now. I'm just going to switch off the flame because the steak is not ready. Once about the last 5 minutes that the steak is ready, I'm going to switch back on the flame, and then I'll start boiling the broccoli. Because broccoli, you don't want to boil it for too long. You just want to boil it for about 3 minutes, and then we lift it out of the hot water for the stir fry. Okay, I'm lifting out the lid. You see all that water content that came out of the steak and lamb chops is from the inner side of the steak and the lamb chops. So yeah, now we're going to pan fry this without the lid. We'll pan fry this until all that water content evaporates, and then we will dump in the onions. Let's flip the steak up a bit. See all that water content that came out from the steaks and lamb chops. Just going to dissolve a bit first. Just going to lift up the meat here a little bit. Basically, it's all the sauces. It's kind of like a thick, gooey sauce because the meat is. We also added in some cornstarch. That's why you can see the sauce is kind of thick. So we're going to dissolve the sauce, and then we will pan fry the steaks nicely. Okay, it's evaporated a lot. Bring back the steak here. All that oil is flickering everywhere. A lot of oil is hitting into my arms here. Once I can sear these pieces nicely. Okay, I'm just going to switch back on the flame. We can start preparing the broccoli. Just give it a good flip. A lot of the fattiness of these lamb chops is coming out. Okay, let's dump in our broccoli. With that oil. And let's flip it around again. The color is looking good. Look at that. Like the steak. The lamb chops also looking good. There's flickering everywhere. Okay, this is what I'm looking for. Now I'm going to dump in the onions and garlic. I'm saving a little bit of garlic for my broccoli, stir-fried broccoli with garlic. And spread that onion around the steak. So just flip the meat around. Let that onion cook in that oil so that it can coat the meat with that onion there. Just cook this for a few minutes and then it will be ready. Because you don't want like kind of soggy kind of onion pieces. You want kind of like a thicker kind of bites. Okay, now the oil's not splattering everywhere once I put in that onion. The onion will soak up all that fatty oil. And mix it up around again with that onion. You want that onion flavor to coat all the pieces of meat here. Okay, should be ready. Let's plate this. Okay, this is steak. Let's check out that steak. Yummy. Okay, these are the lamb chops here. Okay, let's check out the lamb chops. Just check at that. Look at that juicy piece of lamb chop. Yummy. And let's put in the onions. Got that oil. Here you go. Okay, let's work on the broccoli now. Okay, let's preheat our wok here. Let's check out the broccoli here. Nice. Just for a few minutes. Don't want soggy broccoli. Okay, let's add in some olive oil to our wok. Broccoli. Swirl that around. Lower the flame. Just pop in some of that crushed garlic. Get that flavor in that oil. Get the wok flavor everywhere on low heat, or else the garlic will burn. Okay, now let's dump in the broccoli. Turn up the heat. Stir this up. That garlic. Okay, let's pour in some oyster sauce. A little bit of sesame oil and a drizzle of Chinese rice wine. And that's all you need. And let's just stir fry this. I guarantee you that if one of your family members doesn't like eating vegetables, I guarantee you do it like this. This whole plate of broccoli will be finished in no time. You can see the broccoli is thick. It's not soggy. If you boil it for too long, the bite will be very soft and yeah, it won't be good. Broccoli you have to have like a kind of like a thick, crunchy bite like apples. Okay, good mix. You don't want to leave it in the wok for too long, and that's it. Just plate this. Okay, we just gotta plate this. We don't want that water. Okay, voila, broccoli. Check that out. Okay, next is maple tofu. Okay, preheat our wok. I'm using the same wok as the broccoli. Let's preheat this. Add in some olive oil. Okay, first I'm gonna cook my mincemeat, my marinated mincemeat. The marination is the same as the steak and everything, it's just sometimes it's less or more of the same ingredients. Okay, let's just cook the mince up, break it up first. You don't need so much mince for maple. My mom wanted to use minced pork, but it was still frozen in the fridge. So I thought that I bought some mincemeat, so I'll just use some mince. The meat is marinated already, so I don't need to like put any spices into it anymore. Now maple tofu is gonna be very spicy. But this is my own version, and I hope you guys like it. Turn down the heat. Okay, now I'm going to add in my chopped onions over here. Chopped onions, garlic. Over here, garlic. And celery. Chopped up celery. Okay, just stir fry that up before we add in the mushrooms. Turn up the heat. We're gonna first stir fry all the ingredients and with the tofu before we start adding in our sauces. Okay, since the veggies doesn't have any flavor, just sprinkle a little bit of salt and a little bit of white pepper. Just sprinkle just a tiny bit of black pepper. Also a teaspoon of sugar. Okay, just stir fry this. Okay, let's add in our mushrooms. Cook up the mushrooms with the ingredients. Okay, the mushrooms is getting cooked up now. I can see it's shrinking. Okay, let's add in the tofu. I can see that the mushrooms here has given a lot of water content. You know, maple tofu, you need like a kind of a sauciness. So just now we won't be adding in too much water. So let's add in our tofu here. Okay, the tofu has been cut up. Once it was cut up, I also poured in some hot boiling water just to let it cook up a little bit, and then I drained it, so it will be like this. Okay, let's stir fry this up now, nicely. Okay, we're gonna add in some water. It's time to create like a sauce. Not too much. Okay. Basically, the tofu and all the ingredients ready. So let that start to boil up. You don't want to mix it too much, or else the tofu will break. So let's start to add in our sauces. So first I'm going to add in, drizzle some oyster sauce all around. The basics. A little drizzle of soy sauce. A little drizzle of sesame oil. A little bit of Chinese rice wine. I'm going to add in 2 teaspoons of hoisin sauce. And now you can add in like Chinese chili sauce or any kind of chili sauce. I'm using a peri-peri relish. So looks something like this. I'm just going to add in 1 spoon first, and then I'll taste it to see if it needs more kick. Just mix that sauce into that water. Okay, let me just give this a little taste. Tastes very good. If I added in 1 more teaspoon, this will be very hot, very tasty. Yeah, this is way enough hot, and it tastes super good. Okay, now I'm gonna make a little cornstarch slurry to add into this to thicken up the sauce. The cornstarch here, but dissolve it in some cold water. So it's all about tasting, guys. So if your ones doesn't taste as good, then you have to fix up the tasting, the sauces and stuff that you marinated your meat with. Okay, just pour this around, mix it up. Now it's good stuff. The sauce is getting thick. It's gonna coat all the tofu and yeah, everything. You can see now it's more thicker. Cook this up for a few more minutes. Stir it up. Okay. See, the tofu didn't even break. Let's taste again. Perfect, perfect. Okay, let's plate this. This is how I make my tofu. Hey, just need to sprinkle it with some spring onions. Alright, check that out. My maple tofu. Okay guys, thanks guys for watching. This is only members only content that you have to subscribe. So yeah, thanks guys for watching and also joining my memberships. Let's eat dinner.